Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and very good morning to all of you. I hope you're safe and sound. Welcome to Melly's Telegram classes. Let's talk about the kinds of transitive verb. A transitive verb has two kinds. Number one, monotransitive verb, and number two, ditransitive verb. Let's discuss the first one. Monotransitive verb. It is followed by only one direct object. Remember, the word mono means one. If a transitive verb takes one object, that transitive verb is known as monotransitive verb. For example, Bilal plays chess. In this sentence, we have only one object, and plays is the transitive verb. So we can call it a monotransitive verb. Number two, we're learning voices. One object, this verb is a monotransitive verb. Number three, she doesn't cook rice. And number four, the boys are not playing football. What is a ditransitive verb? It is followed by two objects, that is, a direct object and an indirect object. The word di means two. After a ditransitive verb, we use two objects. One of them is direct object and one of them is indirect object. Note, a direct object is usually a thing, while an indirect object is a person. The object that receives the action first is a direct object, and it is usually a thing. And the object that receives the action second is usually a person, and we call it an indirect object. We have got two structures for understanding ditransitive verbs. The first one is a formal structure. That is, subject plus verb plus direct object plus one of the prepositions to or for plus indirect object. If you do not use one of the prepositions to or for between direct object and indirect object, that's wrong. If the direct object is first and indirect object is the second one. For example, number one, Bilal buys a pen for Hamid. In this sentence, Bilal is the subject, buys is the verb. Let's see which verb. A pen is the direct object because it receives the action first. First of all, Bilal buys a pen and then he gives it to Hamid. So Hamid is the indirect object because he received the action in the second place. And between them, we have the preposition for. So the buys is a ditransitive verb because we have two objects, a pen and Hamid. Number two, Fadil Safed teaches English tenses to students. The first object is English tenses and the second object is students. So teaches is a ditransitive verb in this sentence. Number three, Samira wrote a letter to her parents. And number four, we make a test for the students. Let's talk about the informal structure for ditransitive verbs. That is, subject plus verb plus indirect object plus direct object. Here, we change the positions of direct object and indirect object, and we remove or delete the prepositions to or for. For example, number one, Bilal buys Hamid a pen. If you remember the formal structure, I said, Bilal buys a pen for Hamid. If you want to change it to informal, remove the preposition for and change the positions of Hamid and a pen. Number 2, Fardeen Safai teaches students English tenses. And do not use a preposition. Do not say Fardeen Safai teaches students to English tenses. That's wrong. Number 3, Samira wrote her parents a letter. And number 4, we made the students a test. What is an intransitive verb? A verb that isn't followed by any object is called intransitive verb. In simple words, if a verb takes an object, that's called a transitive verb. If a verb does not take an object, that's called an intransitive verb. Remember, a verb in which the question words who and what can't be answered. This is a simple way of finding transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. The structure for intransitive verbs is subject plus verb plus pattern. What is pattern? Let's talk about it. Pattern stands for P, place. For example, I go to school. School is a place, and therefore, go is an intransitive verb. Does school answer one of the questions who or what? No, so it's not a transitive verb. A stands for adverb. For example, she dances beautifully. Beautifully is an adverb, and dances is an intransitive verb. T stands for time, or a time expression. For example, the accident happened at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. is a time expression, and happened is the intransitive verb. A stands for adjective. For example, she feels well. Well is an adjective, and feels is an intransitive verb. And the last letter, P, stands for preposition. For example, I agree with you. With is a preposition, and that's why agree is an intransitive verb. Let me tell you some common intransitive verbs. Go, come, sleep, fall, happen, agree, sit, stand, stay, live, rise, remain, dance, walk, sneeze, cough, swim, etc. Let's do an oral exercise. Tell whether the highlighted verbs are transitive or intransitive. Number 1, Harun fixes his car. Let me do it. His car is a direct object. It's answering the question what. So fixes is a transitive verb. Good luck with the rest of them. Let me share the answers with you. Number 2, we swim in the lake. In the lake is a place expression. That's why swim is an intransitive verb. Number 3, she speaks 4 languages. 4 languages is answering the question what. So it's a direct object, and therefore speaks is a transitive verb. Number 4, Ajay lives in India. India, or in India, is a place expression. That's why lives is an intransitive verb. Number 5, Rita sleeps at 11 p.m. At 11 p.m. is a time expression, and that's why sleeps is an intransitive verb. Number 6, we grow rice and beans. We grow what? Rice and beans. So it's a direct object, and that's why drove is a transitive verb. Number 7. She dances in the dance marathon. Dances is followed by in the dance marathon, and in is a preposition. That's why we call dances an intransitive verb. Number 8. He never beats his students. He never beats whom? His students. Beats is a transitive verb. Number 9. Shams goes to school alone. To school alone, especially to school, is a place expression, and that's why goes is an intransitive verb. And the last one, Tahir teaches the students. The students is a direct object, and that's why teaches is a transitive verb. This concludes our session for today. Do not forget an exercise that is attached to the same video. Remember, this was a short version of today's lecture. The very lesson is taught in more details in our regular classes. Thank you.